everyone for joining us today. Today we're going to be taking you through our smart trader tools. If you haven't heard of them before, they are a very great set of tools that we offer. A few indicators, few EAs, from finding your trades to helping you manage your risk, and also helping you manage your positions. This one's available in MetaTrader 4 and 5. My name is Richa. I'm the regional lead for Australia here. And with me, I have Mitch, one of our top trading specialists, who's going to be co-hosting this with me. And on that note, we'll get straight into it. Just a quick risk warning as well. It will be general advice only. But if you have any questions through the webinar, feel free to jump into the questions section. And if I don't see it, Mitch will do his best to let me know or answer them for you on the spot as well. What we'll be going through today is firstly, what are the smart trader tools, how you can access them, how to install them, some smart trader tool indicators and EAs, and also run through a VPS promotion that we have for Australian clients only, which is something you generally need when using the smart trader tools. So first of all, what are the smart trader tools? Smart trader tools are an expert advisor. An expert advisor is essentially another way of saying robotic trading or trading assistant on your MetaTrader 4 and 5. You can download them directly from our website. It's available for everyone, whether you're starting out on a demo account, on a live account, or if you're an existing trader who just needs a little bit extra to give you an edge for MT4 and MT5 as well. And it's just on the trading platforms and tools that you can find the smart trader tools, which you can download directly from the website. What's included in that is quite a few indicators. You can also connect to things such as XLRTD. You can see what session you're trading in. You can do bulk trades. And you can also get access to lots of different technical indicators to add on to your chart as well. And why don't we dig straight into it? Got my MetaTrader up here. Okay. When you download any expert advisor, there's a couple things to keep in mind, and I do recommend, and I might just give everyone a minute to jump onto pepperstone.com. Onto our platforms. It should be under social trading or trading tools and smart trader tools. If you can download it as we're going through it, that will be absolutely phenomenal. You'll be able to learn and pick up how to use it, and any issues we can just troubleshoot for you on the spot. So highly recommend everyone to just take a minute and go through and download this as well. And when we do download it with anything on MetaTrader, we just need to make sure that it's in our data folder saved under MQ4 and experts. As you'll see, all of these are my smart trader tools. And I'll dig straight into it. So I'll start off with an overview of some of our indicators that we have. Okay, now when we're using any expert advisor, the main thing that we want to remember is also to click auto trading, otherwise it won't work. If I just do one as an example, if I just drag this onto my chart, under Common, make sure you always click Allow Live Trading and Allow DLL Import so that it can actually take into account the live price feed that you're getting, so it can give you the outputs that you want. Press OK, and you'll see a little smiley face pop up on the top right-hand side of your chart. That means your expert advisor is live and good to go. The first one I'll start with, though, is the indicator, and then we're just going to take us through some really cool expert advisors that we have. One of the ones which is a very simple one, but one that I know many clients use, is our candle countdown. This is a really good one if you are, for example, just open a new chart window because I've got something on this one already. This is a really good one if you, for example, are a scalper and you're looking for the close on the different candles you're trading on, especially if you're using candlestick patterns to do your trading. if I just drag this one on the bottom right hand side, it will tell me how long to my last candle closes. I'll just add a Bollinger Band on it as well, just so I can sort of see what the trend, what the volatility is doing at the time and what the range might be. If I drop it down to a minute or even 5 minutes, then I know I've got 2 minutes 40 seconds left, and as soon as this sort of comes to a finish, I've got confirmation that okay, that I might actually go in for a sell on this one, and as it comes back around, I know when I'm looking for that candle to close and when it's going to give me that final pattern, because as we all know, especially when markets are volatile, that anything can happen in a short amount of time, and this way you can always be prepared to know what might happen next. The next one I want to go through, and I've set it up a little bit earlier here, is chart group. Now what chart group allows us to do, I'll just rearrange that one. What the chart group allows us to do is, if you're, for example, I'll just remove the countdown from this one so it's not in the way. If you're looking at one currency pair, for example, in this case, if I'm looking at cable, so pound US dollar on a 1 minute and a 5 minute chart, and I want to do some multi-time frame analysis to either confirm the trend or confirm my entry as well. So on a 1 minute chart, it might look like, okay, might be a good buy, but on the 5 minute one, it's not looking the same. Instead of opening multiple charts every single time, this allows you to update all charts at one given time. I'll just remove this one and set this up again so you know exactly how it works. And before I do that, I'll show you what it does. So in this case, I've set it up based on the symbol. That means if I change the symbol on this one and I want to get that confirmation on euro dollar, for example, as I update euro dollar, it also updates the euro dollar on my 5 minute chart. So instead of opening a new one every single time, all I need to do is drag and drop the symbol that I'm looking at, and it will update that chart for me, but it won't change anything else, not the template. It also won't change the time frame, most importantly. So I'll show you how I did that. Just remove the indicator from these. Again, just a simple drag and drop. In this case, I want the symbol to be the one that it's linked to by, and I want display in the corner on the bottom right hand side. Press OK. And on this one, I'll do the same thing. Symbol, bottom right hand side. Now the key is here to put the same symbol in here as well, so all the same linking group code. So I could just call this number 1, or if I had A before. Okay. Now that that's set up, it does the exact same thing. So it doesn't change anything else. It just updates the symbol that I'm looking at. What I've done on this side is link it using the time frame. So in this case, I've got B here, and if I go into the indicator properties, I've got symbol linked here instead, and I can change that to time frame or symbol as well. So if I just change it to time frame now. And update the time frame for this one. It then updates the time frame for both of these, so I can now have Aussie US. And if I just close these ones, especially if you're looking at different types of pairs that may be correlated. So if we, for example, look at gold on one of them and dollar yen on the other one, generally on a longer time frame, and this is something that Mitch is going to go into later with the correlation matrix, the gold and dollar yen can be negatively correlated. Now, if we look at it on a weekly basis, you can sort of see that pattern. It's a complete flip on a half an hour. If I'm just looking at some shorter trades, I don't really see that correlation as much as I do in a longer time frame. So for me, perhaps this is more of a longer, long-term play as opposed to looking at it as a scalper or a short-term trader as well. So these are some of the things you can pick up on and look at really quickly using Chart Group. The last two that I'll go through before heading over to Mitch is also the profit and loss It's a very simple one. So if I just open up my dollar CAD, I've got a few trades running here. So I can just add profit and loss, and it just allows me to see what my overall running profit and loss on that one. Maybe not a strategy I'll be using very often, but if I just close this one here, it'll update it to show where I'm sitting on at the moment. So instead of downloading your report and then having to calculate different exposure you have to different pairs that you're trading, this just gives you a quick snapshot to look at, and you can have it set up with multiple charts so you know at any given point where your profits are and where your losses are as well. Lastly, one that we all love is pivot points. Just a simple one, allowing you to sort of find your stop and entry points as well. It looks like it's reaching a resistance level here on the dollar CAD hourly chart that we're looking at the moment. And maybe for that reason, I shouldn't have closed the sell and closed the buy instead. Just a little bit trigger happy on that one. And that's the pivot points. Anytime you want to remove any indicators, you just go into indicator list, and that allows you to sort of edit them as well. You can delete them, or you can change the inputs if you want to change the colors or the way that it looks, and the time frame for the pivot points as well. I will pass on over to Mitch now, who will take us through the mini terminal, a really good risk management tool, and the correlation matrix as well.
Thank you, Rich. Very insightful there. So for those that joined late, my name's Mitch. I am a trading specialist and account manager here at Pepperstone. So I'll take you through the mini terminal and a few others now. All right. So firstly, the mini terminal. It's a great tool for traders who like getting in and out of trades fairly fast, or scalpers, another word. Basically, just drag and drop from your expert advisors over here, select OK, and it will immediately, as Rich said, have the smiley face up the top, mini terminals open, along with these color ladder here and this little terminal here. So basically, it'll allow you to see your lot sizes. You can change it there, stop loss, trailing stops, and take profits. And you can do it at the click of a button there rather than going through a few different steps to place an order normally. So that's one part of the mini terminal. You can also change the different symbols here nice and easily. Very easy to access. Alternatively, if you go to this yellow icon, it will open up a separate new order or template box. Basically from here, this is where you can actually save order templates. So for example, if you want to place a long or a buy, which I have there, at a certain lot size, I might do 0.05 of lots with a stop loss of $10 cash. So I'll change that to fixed cash risk and input $10. With a take profit of $30, 30. I'll then save that template. Name, maybe do 3010. Save. And that's going to tell you that it has been saved. So then if you exit out of this particular window and then back to this mini terminal box, if you simply hold down control on your keyboard and click, it'll show you your order templates. And this is just a great tool for, if you're a scalper or someone, likes going in and out of trades pretty quickly, you've got multiple order templates here. You select that one that we just created, and it will place that trade at those variables, 0.05 of a lot, and you'll see them down here on the chart as a result. So take profit, where you bought, and stop loss. So really good tool for doing that nice and quickly. Alternatively, if you're not too flash on the keyboard, you can just go back into that box and select this, and you'll see your order templates down here as well. Next, with the mini terminal as well, is the smart lines. So it's a great tool for if you're big on technical analysis and looking at resistance, support, trend lines, etc. You can draw a particular trend line. So I might, for example, zoom in a little bit on this particular chart and draw a trend line, just for example. Yeah, might change that and bring it down a bit. And then you might want that price, although it's quite a while away, you might want to wait for that price to come across this line to be able to place an order. So to be able to do that, is all I'll do is hold Alt on my keyboard and then click as well simultaneously, and it will bring up this particular box. Do you guys see that box?
Yeah, we can see it.
Yep, beautiful. So that will allow you to either close all long trades at that particular place on the chart, all shorts, as well as you can set a stop loss, take profit at those levels as well, and change them whether you want to, if you've got a 0.05 of a lot trade on that particular symbol, you might want to only close 50% or 0.01 of that particular trade, etc. So it gives you it's really good for trend lines and resistance support traders that might want to wait for those particular price levels to have been met to place that trade or close trades. So that's another great.
That a lot of people say MetaTrader as well, that it is a limitation. It doesn't have advanced take profits to allow you to stagger it, and this tool essentially allows you to stagger your take profit and your stop loss, so that if you are following a trend is your friend sort of strategy, as you go, you can start to book your profits as you go, or mitigate your loss as the market moves in your favor or against your favor, instead of having to adjust it every time a new support or resistance levels comes into play. Really cool.
Absolutely. Awesome. So that was the smart lines. Now, additionally, you'll see this beautiful green and red line or bar over this right-hand side when you've got mini terminal open. This is called the ladder limit order tool, which is part of the mini terminal. It allows you to place orders at the click of a button on the side of the chart. So, for example, here's the current market price here, this grey line, or this price over the right-hand side. If you hover over the bottom of it, it'll set a buy limit. If you select that, simply click and then drag it up, and you'll see your take profit, price, and percentage going up. So then you might be a visual sort of trader who likes looking at those support resistance levels as well, and hover it over that which looks like a bit of resistance, and then double click and it will place that order as a result, which is here, buy limit, etc. Alternatively, other way around, if you want to set, for example, a sell limit, so going to go down after it hits resistance level, you've set there and drag down and profits as a result. Double click and it will place. So that's the limit order, ladder limit order, really great feature of Mini Terminal as well. As you can see from Mini Terminal, has a few different features for placing orders or closing orders as well. Really good for those scalpers or all sorts of traders looking to simplify order management at the click of a button. All right, so next up is the correlation matrix, which Rich touched on.
That one, Mitch. Sorry to interrupt. Just before we move on, can you just show us the risk calculator in Mini Terminal as well? How to calculate your position size based on your risk tolerance. It's quite a popular one, and I think you guys will really enjoy it.
Lot size calculation. So if that was in this part of the mini terminal window, select on that. Stop loss, you might want at a fixed cash risk again, $10. Percentage of equity, you can set percentage of balance as a result as well. So it's just a great tool for example, being able to work out exactly the lot size, etc., that you're wanting to place at the time as well. And if you do that, it'll input it there. Cash risk, $5,000. Pip value per lot, $11 at 45.76.
And it may look like
change that.
Size as well, but at that point you're only risking 10 pips. When 45 lots will allow you to only risk 10 pips and only 10% of your equity. So it just puts into perspective as well when you do have goals that you want to work towards, to work backwards a little bit based on your risk appetite and how much you want to risk. And, you know, when you're trading, instead of guessing what kind of lot size you want to do and hoping for the best, exactly quantifies it for you, exactly what lot size you need for what percentage of risk that you have.
Exactly right. And then, you can change it to percentage of equity, balance, and cash risk as well. So, really good for all sorts of traders that trade different ways. There's so many different strategies out there. And, Rich summed it up perfectly there. So that's that one. Another great additional feature of Mini Terminal. All right. Awesome. I will move on to now the correlation matrix, as Richa touched on previously. What you do is double click or drag onto your screen. It's just going on to my other screen, bear with me. There we go. And what this is or does is give you positive or negatively correlated trading symbols and pairs here. So, for example, you see the euro dollar or euro US is negatively correlated to the US yen, which means that you won't be doubling up as a result. And therefore, you're diversifying your risk or market exposure for your trades as a result. So, whereas if you've got market news coming out, let's say the Fed are bringing out some the cash rate news at some stage, or the non-farm payrolls later this week, for example, and you're wanting to diversify your risk on the US, you might want to take out a position in the euro US and then the pound US as a result, because you're not necessarily doubling up as a result. Or vice versa, you might want to choose one that's negatively correlated if you think that it's going to go and positively affect both trades. So just give you a good snapshot of what's out there and what's negatively and positively correlated and the different strengths. So you can actually change it to strong only, and strong being the red, which are usually in the 80s and 90s, so late 79. Medium orange, weak blue, strong or medium, weak or none, or no highlight. So it's up to you how you look at it, as well as changing the different time frames as well. That can also affect the correlation and the strength of those correlations as a result. So obviously, the longer the time frame, the stronger the correlations will be, given that it's over a longer period of time. So that's the general snapshot of correlation matrix. Really good tool.
Yeah, that's a really good one, Mitch. And the other way you can also use this is, and I was just thinking of this while Mitch was explaining it about doubling up, is if you are in a position where you have lots of trades opened and, you know, you may be in a bit of a tricky situation where you don't know where the market might be going, is to be able to manage your positions. You might be able to see, okay, I've got to buy on dollar yen and euro US dollar, and you may not have known how correlated they are, and maybe your dollar yen's not doing well and you think I might trade euro dollar instead to help bring the account up a little bit. this will tell you to maybe go, actually, I probably shouldn't do that, or no, okay, maybe I should even mitigate some of my euro dollar trades so that I don't have too many eggs in one basket. So it can also help not just find good trades to place, but also manage your existing open trades that you have as well.
Absolutely. And on that order management or managing multiple positions at a time, we'll move on to the trade terminal, which is another great expert advisor here in the Smart Trader tools. So if you just double click or drag it on, so okay, and it will open up a separate almost window, which will bring up your chart or trade terminal, should I say, which gives you a snapshot of all the different trades that you have open at a time, floating profit and loss, etc., of particular trades. So basically, it's a handy tool for managing multiple positions, as I mentioned. If you go to Tools, All Orders, and then this is where you can actually, as I said, manage multiple positions, whether you want to partially close all positions at 10%, 20%, etc., 75%. All these levels are preset, and you can select those there, or even close all orders as well. Additionally, you can set stop loss for all, 10 pips maybe you might want, 100 pips, etc., or even a fixed price by selecting any of those, as well as take profits at the similar levels, trailing stops, etc. Additionally, you can, even though you can close all trades there, you can also close all here. You can also just separate your closures by closing all open or delete pending orders, as well as really great tool if you're seeing that only a few of your trades are actually winners. You might want to just close those, given that maybe some market news might be coming out and you think that it might affect your trades. You're going to close all winners out for a profit now, which I've got a few winners here, which I might do. And you will see those disappear.
I think from our trading, it would be best to sort of follow what Mitch is doing as opposed to I'm doing. His trades are looking better than mine.
As you could see, I had all winners. I had a great week there on this account. But yeah, that is really, really great tool for managing all those sorts of orders, whether it be closing all at a particular profit level, take profit, or just closing all winners or losers. Really good tool for doing that and just simplifying your trading overall. And it's just a free feature of Smart Trader tools as the trade terminal.
And this is one that I've actually personally used a fair bit because I tend to trade sometimes with stop loss, but usually not, only because I monitor it through the day and I'm able to do so. But at night, obviously, I can't monitor it. At night is generally when I've gone in and added a stop loss of a certain percentage to all of mine. And then in the morning, I remove the stop loss because I know I can monitor it as well. So if you enjoy a well-rested sleep like I do, this is definitely one to look at.
Absolutely. Awesome. So I think that summarises the trade terminal. I'll pass back on over to you, Rich.
Awesome. Thank you, Mitch. That was really insightful. I will now take you through a couple of the other EAs that we have. Okay, you can see my screen okay, Mitch?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so the one we're going to look at now is Alarm Manager. Like Mitch said, make sure your order trading is on, and you've got the smiley face on the top right-hand side as well, and you've selected allow live trading and allow DLL imports. Just press OK on that. So your Alarm Manager is a really cool part of the MetaTrader. Now we've got alerts down the bottom here, which you can place some pretty simple alerts on, but this takes it to the next level. You can have account alarms so that if you ask, for example, move it there. So I've got my margin level percentage, my overall balance and equity. I can set these account alarms on to be able to know when it's over a certain percentage. So you would generally get a notification at 100% or 20%. But if you want to be more aware of how your trades are tracking along, you can use this as an additional as well. If you have a few losses in a row or profits in a row, you can also get notified. The one I really like about this, though, is the price alarms and trade activity alarms. So what the price alarms actually allow you to do is use your technical analysis to be alerted, and that's essentially what signals are. That's what EA's robotic algorithmic trading does, is it monitors all these things and it uses those to place the trades. This is a version of it that you can use if you don't have 3 years of coding or programming background. So if we look at one of these, for example, I love a good 20 of, I didn't realize I already had this set up from a little while back, moving average 20 and 50. We do it on a daily, for example. So I can select euro dollar if the 20-day moving average is greater than the 50-day moving average. On the close bar, I can set up an action for it. So if the 20 moving is greater than the 50, then I will probably want to buy in this case, because that's generally a golden cross signal, which can mean that the price may go up, and we'll probably play action. So I can either have it make a sound on the MetaTrader. I think we all heard the boing and the tring that comes on. So you can either have that if you're on your computer, or you can have it send you an SMS, which you would need to set up through your phone. MetaQuotes, you can set it to actually close trades as well, so it can be a closing signal, or you can actually ask it to place a market order. So I can then set this up and have it so that when this happens, I buy Euro USD, and I can set up my stop loss and my take profits beforehand. 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio, and just add onto it and press save, and now we're good to go. And I can also turn it on and off through it as well. Okay. And you can also set it to auto reset if you want it to. This is another one that I had set up. You can have it to auto reset as well, so it doesn't keep pumping out new trades, but it can either place a trade and then just not do it again, or after the signal has cleared, or reset after an hour or so. The other thing it can do as well is have trade activity alarms. So this one I have is positions without stop loss by $CAD. You can wait for a few seconds. Not too sure what that one is. Let's just try to add a new one. It sort of takes you to the same section there. So if you want to have a activity alert when a new position opens, so if you are already running any kind of robotic algorithm, or if you're doing some copy trading through things like DupliTrade or MyFX book that we offer, where trades, you can link to existing traders and copy their accounts based on the research that you do. You can get notified every time they open a new trade or they close a new trade, so you're not just going in blind. You can manage your positions in a really great way, and also then for economic calendar as well. So a few different things you can do, completely depending on the way that you trade. Really great for technicals, but also really great if you're a fundamental trader. And if you're somewhere in between a fundamental trader, then it also is something there for you as well. The next one I will go through is the Connect. If you like statistics or numbers like I do, then you're going to absolutely love this one. So I'm just going to go to the trade analysis tab in this section. Cool. What this allows you to do is go into a very in-depth detail of your trades and how your trading is going. So it's always good to look back on trades, and that's something you can do through your account history detailed report as well, which will always give you a bit of an overview at the bottom of the overall profit, loss, those sort of things. But what this allows you to do is actually see every little thing that comes out of any trade that you do, for not just your profit or your loss or percentage of winners, but per symbol, how many you trade. So for example, maybe I trade a few different things, and my colleague always makes fun of me for this, but I'm really bad at trading gold, but I am good at trading FX. So I will be able to see it through here as, okay, print gold, perhaps, I don't have any gold on this, but maybe it would say it loses 80%, as opposed to Aussie US loses 20% or 50% in this case. But it'll allow you to see where your strengths are, so either you can keep focusing on your strengths and where your weaknesses are to help you work on those weaknesses, or just play to your strengths when it comes to trading. You'd also see your worst trade and how long you hold your trades open for as well. Again, are you better as a swing trader or a scalper? This will tell you that and how many pips, your average pips that you're winning per trade as well. Maybe sometimes for trade symbols that are a bit more volatile, you might have more pips than the slower ones. So maybe you trade better in volatility, which you can see with the VIX if it is a volatile period or not. Maybe that's when a good time is to get in. But maybe if you don't trade really good in volatility, wait for the VIX to settle down a little bit. So it tells you so much, and it's just all as part of your MetaTrader. Don't have to go anywhere else at all. And you can draw different charts off the back of this as well, different charts if you want to help visualize it a little bit better, which you can also do in the overview. I can look at a little bit of everything here. Net profit based on direction, sell, that direct shorting market. I'm usually an optimist, but maybe in this case that doesn't work in my favor. Yeah, you can look at every little thing that you can think of here. Do we have any questions about any of these? Or Mitch, did you want to add anything on top of that as well?
No, yeah, you summed it up well. I just think that this particular part of Smart Trader Tools is really important for especially new traders or even just expert traders as well. Just refining your strategy to see what works best for you. So scalping is not for everyone, swing trading is not for everyone, and it gives you these statistics right in front of you, and just gives you a really good look at that. So really good tool.
No, excellent. And we've got a little bit more time, so I might just go through the session map as well. Just a second, I'll just open up any chat. The session map's a pretty simple one, but it's a very nice one just to have open there with your trading, because it will tell you at any given point which session you're trading in, and also sort of the London session at the moment, and any news events that are expected to come out at certain times. So just a nice one to have sitting there with you, to know what's going on, what market you're in, and what's coming up next, especially around these layover crossover times between London and New York, and then London and Tokyo and Australia is generally experience a little bit of volatility. Sometimes people like to stay away from that, so this will tell you when that's coming up. Then you can just take a bit of a break and then come back in when the London session is fully on. Was there any other ones, Mitch, that you'd like to go through, or we can now run and talk about the VPS a little bit?
Maybe just quickly, the sentiment trader, it might be a good one for certain people that.
I'll open it up on my screen. Did you want to talk through it?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. So it just gives you on that particular symbol that you've got or chart that you've got open, the sentiment. So as you can see for the Euro US right now, 58% long, and a lot of people use this data to base their trades off. And as you can see, that Rich just opened gives you a list of some other symbols, where you can see the long short ratio as a result. So just another great tool in addition to many others that we haven't covered as well. So
excellent. No, that's actually a really good snapshot. And I know before I was looking at this one where I closed the sell and looks like the sentiment is saying sell as well. Just accidentally clicked on that one. But no, that's a pretty excellent tool, and I believe you can. Just a second, I'll just bring it back up. I accidentally closed it, and you can trade directly through it as well. Just makes everything easy. Everything's in one place as opposed to going left, right, and center. Everything's just in one little box that you can use. Awesome. And with this one as well, and any EA that you'll be using, you do need a VPS, and a VPS is essentially a virtual private server, so that everything can be running in the background. If your laptop's closed, if the power goes out or anything like that, you need a VPS for everything to be running in the background. I'll just share my screen and then Mitch can go through it just a little bit. Mitch, do you just want to talk through the VPS and what we sort of offer as well?
Yeah, sure. So VPS is, what Rich said, a virtual private server, which allows traders to run automated algorithmic strategies, whether it be including expert advisors like we've shown, bots, etc. as well, 24/7 on basically a virtual machine. It allows you to, I guess, minimise the chance of any system downtime due to whether it be tech difficulties, internet, or just connectivity failures at the time. It'll allow you to keep running those automated systems through those difficulties. So even if I've had clients, for example, that have young children that use their laptop and they haven't had a VPS in the past, and they've closed their laptop and it has actually closed or mucked up their trades as a result. So VPS does allow you to shut your laptop, etc. as a result. So we do have, I guess, two different VPS servers that we can give you or clients of Pepperstone a discount for. One being 4x VPS, as you can see on the screen, ultra low latency of approximately 1 millisecond, as well as 24/7 assistance to help you install any EA's third-party tools or fix any issues. You also get a 25% discount, as I said, being a Pepperstone client, which is great because some of them can be quite expensive. In addition, we do have New York City servers as well, which is another great VPS, run out of basically similar sort of scenario. As you can see on screen, different plans there. If you've got 3 accounts, as you can see, for MetaTrader 4 or 5, it'd be $25 a month, but it can go up from there. So this might be 6 to 10 sub accounts that you've got running multiple EAs or bots, and as a result, if you've got 6 to 10, you'll want to have the best possible VPS, I guess, option for yourself, so that you don't risk those being slowly executed, etc.
And because the servers are based out of New York as well, it just reduces that latency that he mentioned, that Mitch has mentioned as well. I just want to mention one thing as well, and it is a recent change, which is why it's not on our website, is that originally sponsored VPS, so essentially a free VPS, was only available for our professional clients. So if you're a professional via wealth or as a sophisticated investor, but if you're a retail client as well, and especially if you're joining us today in the webinar, we may actually be able to cover the full cost of a VPS if you're using your Smart Trader tool. If you're using the indicators, you don't need one. If you're using some of the EAs, as long as the computer is open, it's fine. But we always recommend to have a VPS. It makes everything faster and a lot safer for you as well as you start to progress with your trading. And you can message us, email us at trading@pepperstone.com, or reach out directly to superstar Mitch.Comben at pepperstone.com with the Smart Trader Tools webinar in the subject, and we'll see what we can do about organising a free of cost VPS for you. On that note, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us today. We hope you learned something, and remember, you can download the Smart Trader tools directly from our website, but if you need any help with that, email us in these email us on trading or Mitch.Comben. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining us today. Mitch, any last words?
Thank you for joining. I hope we can have been of assistance for you with the Smart Trader tools, and let us know if you have any questions regarding any of it. More than happy to help.
Awesome. Thanks everyone. Have a great night.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.